Some people would call this movie stunning and brave. I have a different perspective. The Treehouse is part of this Hulu anthology series called Into the Dark. To be honest with you, when I watched this movie, I didn't know this movie was holiday themed. I also didn't know that this theme for this episode was actually based around International Women's Day. But nonetheless, I don't think injecting feminism into an already under-budget movie was ever going to help it at all. We start off our story following a chef named Peter. He's also played by the great Jimmy Simpson. He's the main character in Westworld, and he's also the main McPoyle brothers from the Always Sunny in Philadelphia series. Philadelphia. If this movie has anything going for it, it's definitely him. In this story, he comes off as like a lovable asshole, kind of like Gordon Ramsay. But this is actually one of my first complaints about the movie. The narrative is trying to portray him as someone who's so annoying and so awful to be around that everyone around him has left him. He's supposedly so bad that he was actually uninvited to his own father's funeral, as well as the fact that his wife recently divorced him, which is also kind of showing that he's supposedly not a well-rounded guy. The thing is, he's such a quick-witted, sarcastic dude, it's hard not to like him. He almost seems like a Tony Stark sort of character. So we start off our story with Peter going off to his, I guess you'd say his family house, to meet up with his estranged sister he hasn't seen in a while. His house is a huge mansion that his father has left for him after he passed. After he meets up with his sister has to go off on some sort of business trip or something like that. That doesn't really matter. We're going to get into the meat of the story right now. So anyways, he just goes out for a jog after all that, after he gets back to his house. I don't know why he's jogging. Maybe it's just exercise. That doesn't matter. That's not the point. He meets up with one of his old school friends, and he invites her and her friends, as well as her mother, to dinner at his house. Peter's night goes from the high of hosting several young women to dinner, maybe to flirt, maybe to get a little lucky, all that good stuff. He goes from that to something a little different. Let's just say that he has to deal with a grim situation, that's all. Alright, to be honest, this movie, if it was directed and written correctly, it could have been a cult classic. It has quite a few things going for it. The movie's narrative is consistent with the message it's trying to push, as well as the acting is quite on point, especially from our main character, of course. The plot is also contained in a very small location, like it's in a small set, which is actually pretty good for horror movies. It makes things feel more claustrophobic and things like that. All that stuff is pretty good, but the problem with this movie is that there's quite a few other issues to it other than all that good stuff. For one of the biggest problems for me is its lackluster special effects, or lack thereof of special effects. There's nothing in it. It's basically, it can come down to people just wearing Halloween masks and jumping around all goofy looking at it looks cringeworthy. It's not good. It looks like a B movie that had no budget. The other problem with the movie is that this movie wouldn't even scare a small child. It's just not scary from the get-go. I think it's the way certain scenes are shot. The way they're shot almost sucks all the tension out of the movie, and it leaves scary moments that are supposed to be scary just lackluster, and it doesn't work at all. But the single biggest problem of the movie is its bad execution with its social commentary. The social commentary is based around the Me Too movement. That's not a bad message at all. The Me Too movement is good. I mean, who supports rape? You know what I mean? It's no one likes that, everyone's going to be against it. So making a movie or a horror movie based around it is not a bad idea by any means. It's the execution that they fuck up with. I mean, who wants Hollywood celebrities raping people? Nobody wants that. The problem I have with the movie is it's not its message. It's the fact that it is pandering than trying to relay a message to anybody. You know what I mean? Great social commentary is about showing your audience your viewpoint in a subtle disguise sort of way. It allows people from other viewpoints to understand your idea, without the same biases shielding them from your concepts, you know what I mean? This movie has none of that. It's basic pandering. This movie is basically just reinforcing a message that people already agree with if they're already on the feminist agenda already. So it's not really telling or communicating with people, it's more of just pandering to the people that are already on board with the situation at hand. Also, in the movie, it's not actual feminism that they're pushing. It's not just equal rights for girls, don't rape women, that's obvious stuff. It's that new version of feminism, like that social justice-y sort of like fourth wave feminism. It's that type of feminism that goes full circle and then ends up becoming hateful and baited towards people that they don't like. Exactly what they don't want, You know the type that we're talking about, like the people that would walk into a really nice house and then as soon as they walk in the nice house, they'll just say white privilege for no fucking reason. In fact, that actually happens in the movie. You could tell that the director and the writer were going for inclusivity and diversity. Like the buzzwords in feminism and social justice and stuff like that. Like, all the women actors are every color under the rainbow. They have, like, the Spanish girl, which is... We'll talk about that later. We have the black girl. We have the white girl. We have, like, the British white girl. It's kind of like all colors beneath the sun. We didn't find any Asian women in the movie, which we had to dock points for that, But you can understand that they were going for that, and they unironically painted a Spanish person as, like, a really fucking stereotypical Spanish person, and it got really awkward with my Latin wife watching it with her. I was like, okay, you guys, this is not good. The Spanish girl in the movie talked as if she was, like, a Mexican outlaw from 1860. You know what I'm talking about, hombre. Bang, bang, bang! Like, it sounded just like that. It was really bad. By the way, that was a really shitty Spanish or Mexican accent. That was just me trying to go off the cuff with that. It was bad. Whatever. My wife is Latin, and she was annoyed throughout the whole movie. Like, it was just... It was really bad. That's all I want to say about that. Alright, let's wrap this up. So, this movie was trying to be stunning and brave. And all I can say is that it was nothing at all like that. It was an under-budget mess, and they basically couldn't really fulfill and execute any of their really good ideas properly. For me, I'd have to give this movie a D. Now, I'm giving it a D because, like, I really didn't like the undertones with, like, the social justice-y sort of stuff, because it was, like, that really obnoxious type of social justice and feminism. But I couldn't give it a F- or some craziness like that, because it still had good actors in it. It had good acting. They had, like, a proper storyline that they're going with, you know what I mean? It wasn't just, like, a complete mess. They just didn't execute the ideas properly, you know what I mean? Comment below and let me know if you've seen this movie and if you liked it or not. I want to know what you guys think about it. You can leave any message you want. You can be like, hey, douchebag, you don't like feminism or whatever. Like, you can say whatever you want. I'm completely for feminism. I just don't like this kind of pandering, kind of social justice-y, kind of like bitchy sort of feminism. You know what I mean? That, and I also don't like the hating sort of social justice sort of stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I'm okay with people... equal rights, equal this and everything like that. But comment below, let me have it if you guys don't like my opinion. You can also go ahead and agree with me, because I would really like that probably a little better, to be honest with you. But anywho, I try to watch these movies so you guys don't have to watch the shit movies. So if you guys could possibly give me a like, share, subscribe somewhere on this page. I don't know where it is, where I'm at right now. But please, if you could, that would really help my channel out. I really want to try to start growing quickly. I'm going to be posting every couple days, maybe even every day, if you guys keep liking. But thank you guys so much for watching, and see you guys.